Oh, hello. Yeah, I've been putting off this one. It's about ADHD, so autism and ADHD, which often go together. Um, but you can see, I've no answer for this, but you can see that people would offer criticism, and say, well, autism is one thing, like people like their routines, and people with ADHD really find it hard to stick to routines. And so somebody would say, oh, well, that covers every behaviour then, doesn't it? And I've no answer for that, except that they are tend to be on the extremes. But then if you have them both, then that kind of encapsulates a lot of people. And don't know if I'm making myself clear then, but I've no answer for people who might make that criticism. Anyway, so this is I've heard people say, could be quite a long one, so I might need to break it up, that they can mask each other, and this is what my the person who diagnosed me said. He said, well, one can mask the other. And so, people might say, I need to be on my own. That's an autistic thing. But I chat, I'm very talkative and sociable. And so that could be an example of one masking the other. And so it's hard to know, where one begins and where one ends. And so yeah, the other example, autistics liking routine and set things, and ADHD tends to be, people, who have a strong, where ADHD is predominant, may prefer change and can't bear routine. And so, but it's not only one masking the other. I think that it can change with age as well. So, I mean, I think when I was in my teens through to my 30s, I wanted to, I liked change more. I wanted to experiment with different things. I didn't like routine. I wanted to break out of set routines, but I kind of felt, that was the time to do it when I was younger. But as I've got older, I've more reverted to type, autism type maybe. Here's another example. Music. I've always, well, probably when I was when I was younger, I did play, like, I only had a few records so that I would play them to death a bit. But now, and also maybe I got a new album and I'd listen to the same artist. But I think, I don't know if this is an ADHD thing, but I like variety and different artists side by side, on a, if I'm listening to my music on iTunes or something, I get not bored with listening to the same one, but I like the surprise of not knowing what's coming up next and putting it on shuffle and things. And another example is holiday. Some people, I was talking to a friend with this in messaging, and we were saying about people who always holiday in the same place. I mean, I have gone back to the same towns that I've liked, but not year after year. But people who go back to exactly the same place year after year, um, we couldn't do that, and I can't. I like to have the different experience. So, yeah, it's just interesting. And here's another example. As my autistic self is quite a stickler for spelling and grammar, but my ADHD makes lots of errors. But as I say, people could argue that this is a catch-all, and they will say we all fit into one or the other, and it gives more questions. Why do the two go together when they're seemingly so opposite? Or are they like the other sides of the same coin? Like anxiety and depression, I think, are very different, but a lot of people have them both together. They have, one will be predominant. For instance, I don't feel I get depression, but some people use anxiety and depression interchangeably, but I think anxiety is very different. It's very, I'm jittery, I'm on hyper alert, I'm not saying with depression you don't get all the symptoms, but it's very slowed down. But then again, when you've been really, really anxious, you can be slowed down because you're burnt out, but it's not necessarily that you're depressed. So it's all very complicated. So I can see why people would I'm not clear about it in my head, so I can see how other people aren't. So anyway, I'll probably come back to this because I've spoken a lot on it for the moment, but it's such a big area that I've decided, I'll probably need to break it up. So that's all I'm going to say for today. Thank you for listening. Bye.